Welcome back to the Buzz TV's Buzz on Veteran segment. I'm your host, Joe Snowberger. I want to introduce you to Captain Ryman Shoaf.
That's correct.
Nice to have you here today,
Glad
Captain.
to be here. Thank you so much.
First of all, thank you very much for your service to our country. You were an aviator and flew the S-3, which is, for our audience, is a submarine a reconnaissance and patrol aircraft that flew off of aircraft carriers. And you had a big deck?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
So,
all carriers.
What that means is aviators, after they finish doing their aviation thing, as they become senior executive leaders in the Navy, they now take that experience and teach them how to drive aircraft carriers and big decks, and they get out there and make sure the aircraft carrier flies at that floating airport.
That's correct. Yeah.
And how long were you served?
27 years.
Wow, so you were a quitter. You couldn't quite make it to 30, huh?
I tried, but the Commander-in-Chief said, "You're done, go home." And so we serve at the pleasure of the Commander-in-Chief.
We do.
And when he says you're done, you go.
Well, they sent me home even earlier. I only did 24, so it's fine. Right. But what we're here today to talk about is your organization, Turning Points in America. Ronald Reagan stood up in '84 and said, look, we're one generation from the freedoms that we enjoy in this very special country because it's ours to maintain and keep. You're one generation away from it going away. And currently in our political situation, we see that that's a conversation that's going on in our community. Turning Points in America is about that kind of portraying history and making sure America stays as it is. Can you tell us about your organization?
Correct. Yeah, Turning Points in America is really based on what happened in Benghazi in 2012. And during that time, Ambassador Chris Stevens was with his staff in Benghazi, and he had been serving honorably there, representing America, and he came under attack by the enemies of freedom. And for 13 hours, him, along with his staff, begged and pleaded for help from our administration. And for 13 hours, no one came to help. In fact, when they left, they never did leave with American help. They left in a Libyan C-130. So they had to get out on their own, and the ambassador was killed along with 3 other members of the staff. So the question is, how did that happen? Why did that happen? Why did we have an administration that did nothing to help them? And there were 4 people who were murdered, and no one was held accountable for that. And so each year we bring this point up back to the media and to the local people here in Jacksonville. And oh, by the way, Turning Points in America that supports Benghazi, we are the only organization in America right now that each year honors those 4 men who died on a foreign battlefield, because it seems like a lot of other Americans have kind of forgotten about them. And we don't want that to happen. So we feel like this was a turning point because we like to think about our country being that of a strong country based in liberty and freedom. But what freedom do you have if you go represent your country in a foreign land, and when you come under attack, your own country doesn't help you? That was an incredible turning point, and that's why each year we come together to remind people of that time.
So you have an event coming up on September 9th at the Hyatt Hotel in downtown Jacksonville called Crossroads of America.
Correct.
Would you tell our audience about that event, because that's what we want to showcase today?
Sure. So on 9 September, it'll be downtown at the Hyatt Regency, and we bring other speakers in. Now this year, our keynote speaker is Dinesh D'Souza.
Wow, that's a terrific gag.
Yep, Dinesh D'Souza, but we also have other members who come and speak before that time. One of the most fascinating individuals, we're bringing her back for the second time, a lady by the name of Claire Lopez, and she was a CIA operative for quite some time, and because of what happened in Benghazi and because no one was held accountable, she left the CIA and now works for another think tank group in Washington, D.C. But she comes and tells us just how perilous the times are in our country right now, because there are a lot of people that doesn't like our country, they don't like our Constitution, and they're trying to undermine our Constitution. So last year when she was done, I told her, I said, I got to tell you, Claire, you really scared me on that. So since she scared me, we decided to bring her back this year to speak again.
So very informative about a significant turning point in America.
Correct, yeah.
You've got a terrific filmmaker who is going to bring his perspective to it. You've got folks who know the victims and the issue.
Correct.
You also have a congressman, Ron DeSantis, who is a local Northeast Florida congressman here, very active for us, who will be leading or keynoting at the event as well?
No, he will not be keynoting, but he is good friends with Dinesh D'Souza. And so we didn't reach out to him. He actually reached out to us.
Terrific.
Once he found out that Dinesh was going to speak, he contacted us and said, hey, he's a good friend of mine. I would really like to introduce him. So we said, fine, you're the congressman, come on in. So he will actually be introducing Dinesh.
All right, so and you're at the Hyatt, and I understand you've got the grand room reserved. and they're looking at they're preparing for a crowd of 800 to 900.
We have 900 seats.
And there's still sponsorships available, and
Yes.
there's still vending opportunities out
Yes.
in the lobby ahead of time. So let's make sure my audience is on board. And while this has been playing, the flyer should be up, so they'll be able to see it on the screen.
Okay.
But September 9th,
Correct.
3 p.m. is the main show.
Correct.
Tickets are available at Eventbrite.
Correct.
There is a VIP reception at 1:30 to meet the congressman and your
Correct.
keynote speakers and the players engaged, to have that up-close VIP networking. And it's called Crossroads of America.
Correct.
Put on by Turning Points in America.
Correct. And you can also just Google Dinesh D'Souza, and when you click on his name, you'll see a website
That's
that'll come up
terrific.
that will say Turning Points in America, and then you just follow where it tells you to go, and you can get your tickets there.
That's
correct.
terrific. We've also have at the Buzz Media and Buzz website, iwannabuzz.com, we've got your event posted on our event calendar as well. So we hope that you will pass this on through Facebook and this interview out to your friends and family, and we'll see you September 9th at the Hyatt at the Turning Points in America event. Eventbrite is a good way to get your tickets, and there's also a VIP event. Thanks for joining us on The Buzz on Veterans. I'll see you next time on The Buzz.